The medical bay of the celestial harmony hummed with the soft blue glow of Zephyrian healing crystals. Dr. Cathara's four arms moved in practiced synchronization as she guided the bioscanners over the motionless human form on the treatment table. The readings were unmistakable. No neural activity, no cellular regeneration, no life force emanating from the body. Time of death, 1447 station time, she announced to her medical team, her crystalline voice carrying the weight of professional certainty. The other healers, a insectoid Thrix and two graceful luminari, nodded solemnly, their own instruments confirming the diagnosis. Commander Jackson Torres had been brought to their medical facility after the mining accident on Kepler 442b. A cave-in had crushed his torso, and by the time the rescue teams had extracted him from beneath tons of rubble, his body had been without oxygen for over 20 minutes. The Zephyrian medical technology, renowned throughout the galaxy as the most advanced healing system known to any species, had worked tirelessly for 6 hours to repair the catastrophic damage. They had succeeded in mending his bones, regenerating his organs and restoring his circulatory system to perfect condition. But they had arrived too late to prevent brain death. The delicate neural pathways that housed consciousness, memory, and the spark of life itself had been irreversibly damaged by oxygen deprivation. "Shall we prepare the body for preservation until the next human transport arrives?" asked Zixtal, the Thrix medic, her compound eyes reflecting the ambient light as she began powering down the healing apparatus. Dr. Cathara was about to respond when she noticed something that made her freeze mid-gesture. The bioscanner in her upper right arm was displaying an anomaly, a faint rhythmic pattern that hadn't been there moments before. "Wait," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the medical bay's ambient hum. "Something's different." The human's chest rose slightly, then fell, rose again. "That's impossible," breathed Lyra, one of the luminary healers, her bioluminescent patches flickering with confusion. The neural cortex showed complete cessation of activity. No higher brain functions, no consciousness patterns. "We verified. Death across all recognized biological indicators." Dr. Cathara's primary heart began beating faster as she watched the impossible unfold before her. The bioscanners were now detecting faint electrical activity in the human's brain, not in the higher cognitive regions where they expected to find consciousness, but in the primitive brainstem areas that controlled basic bodily functions. "Run a full-spectrum analysis," she ordered, her voice tight with scientific fascination and growing concern. "Something is happening that our models didn't account for." As the team scrambled to recalibrate their instruments, Commander Torres's eyelids fluttered. Dr. Cathara had studied human anatomy extensively, but she had never witnessed anything like what she was observing. The bio-reading suggested that somehow, impossibly, the human brain was rebuilding neural pathways in real time, rerouting consciousness through previously dormant areas. The human's eyes opened. They were unfocused at first, staring at the ceiling of the medical bay with the glassy look that typically preceded final biological shutdown, but then gradually awareness crept back into them. The eyes tracked movement, followed the soft glow of the healing crystals, and finally focused on Dr. Cathara's concerned face. "Where?" Commander Torres's voice was a raspy whisper, barely audible. "Where am I?" The medical team exchanged glances of pure astonishment. In 300 years of practicing medicine across 17 different species, Dr. Cathara had never encountered anything that challenged her understanding of life and death so completely. "You're in the medical bay of the celestial harmony," she replied carefully, trying to keep the wonder out of her voice. "Commander Torres, you were clinically dead for 12 minutes. The human attempted to sit up, moving slowly but with increasing strength. Dr. Cathara's instruments showed his cellular regeneration had somehow accelerated beyond anything in their medical databases. His neural activity was not just returning, it was reorganizing itself in patterns they had never seen before. "I remember the cave-in," Torres said, his voice growing stronger. "Everything went dark. And then..." He paused, his brow furrowing as if trying to grasp something just beyond memory. And then I was somewhere else, somewhere cold and quiet, but I could hear voices calling me back. The brain scans show massive neural reorganization, Zixtel reported in amazement. It's as if his consciousness found alternative pathways when the primary neural networks failed. This is unprecedented. Commander Torres swung his legs over the side of the treatment table, and despite the protests of the medical team, stood up. He was unsteady at first, but within moments, he was walking with only minor coordination issues. The human neurological system, Dr. Cathara murmured to herself, is far more adaptable than we ever theorized. Doc, Torres said, managing a weak smile, I appreciate everything you've done, but I've got work to finish down on the surface. As he walked toward the exit of the medical bay, Dr. Cathara found herself reconsidering everything she thought. She knew about the resilience of biological systems. The humans had earned their reputation as one of the most adaptable species in known space, but this transcended adaptation. This was biological determination that defied the very concept of death itself. Commander, she called after him, for our records, how did you do it? How did you come back? Torres paused at the doorway and looked back at the assembled medical team. I don't think I ever really left, Doc. Maybe humans are just too stubborn to stay dead when there's still work to do. And with that, he walked away, leaving behind a team of the galaxy's most advanced healers to grapple with the humbling realization that there were still mysteries in the universe that their science could not explain. Mysteries written into the very DNA of the species they had just declared extinct.